Welcome in to the DNVR Avalanche pregame show. Avs taking on the Vegas Golden Knights. Is this a Western Conference Final preview? I'm just going to ask it.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, it is.
All right. You heard it here, probably not even first. Someone probably said that before the season even started. But look, Avs lineup is back to normal, if you want to call it that. Druin and Tatar back in, obviously with Tufte down. McDermott expected to be the scratch. What do you guys want to see out of Druin and Tatar tonight? Let's start there.
Goals.
Is it just production? Is it that simple?
For me.
Okay.
Oh, they said balls. You said goals?
Goals.
Oh, sorry. No, on it because it's loud
also-
here. No, it's loud here. I couldn't hear. Sorry. Go ahead.
I also really want to see, depending on how they're utilized, because Vegas is so deep, their third line is so good right now that they need to be very defensively sound. And so depending on how they each get utilized, if they are going to play in the middle six in any capacity, they have to be really responsible defensively.
So the dichotomy of every hockey team. Score, don't get scored on.
I want to see them simplify their game.
Okay.
And I think that's where I have the concern about them being responsible defensively, is if they overcomplicate because they are looking to score and they're trying to force those chances. If they mishandle the puck and it becomes a liability, that's the concern. So I really just want to see them simplify the game tonight.
And I'll touch up on the keys later, but compete.
Yeah.
You know, Vegas competes. They like Megan and both of you said, like, these guys roll four lines and they go and that fourth line plays, and you want to make sure that those guys compete. You get back in the lineup. When you've been around this league and you get sat out, you can pout or you can sat out. You get sit out, not sat out. Sit out. Come on, man. Don't be French today.
You're French every day, bud.
I'm French every day. But you get sit out and then you come back. You want a little bit of fire under your belly, right? Or else why did you do that? You know what I mean? So you got to respond. You got to show your teammates. You got to show your coaching staff. You got to show the management. You know what I mean? Like, hey, this is why I came. This is why you took. I mean, there were small chances. We all know for both of them, right?
Yep.
Tuna, Tatar, and Druin were not big investments, but still, they are playing for their career. We know that. Somewhere, somehow. That's where they're at. But they can also be a useful part of the puzzle.
And just to add to that, because Tufte is on the heels of a decent showing with the Avs and a hat trick with the Eagles, they have to be better than Riley Tufte, because he is just a phone call away when they return home for a homestand. It's a 55-minute drive from Loveland to Denver, and they have to be contributing then every shift, making themselves visible, taking shots to Amash Tatar. And I know that the finishing touch is where Jonathan Druin has struggled a little bit, so I'm not necessarily demanding a hat trick, but they both have to have contributions that can be measured in some way.
Well, I do think it's a hard thing to break down because, yeah, I think they ended up on the bench more for their lack of production than anything else. But a real fast way back to the bench is giving up bad goals. So
True.
Just needs to be better. Maybe on both sides is a fair argument. But I'm sure Big E's 3 keys will talk a little bit about that. So see if he can read the screen or not with his blind
I got
eyes.
it right here. That's what I'm doing.
He's got
right
it prepared
here.
now. Okay, all right.
I got it right here. So we'll start with number 1. I always talk about measuring sticks, right? Reverse measuring stick. Why? Vegas won. Vegas won last year. So you're measuring yourselves against them now because they're the champs. So let's make sure you show VGK tonight who you are and who's boss. And until we meet again, we just talked about that. Those guys will meet again. They'll have to go through one another. And what better way to do it than to just set the tone now, early in the season, and see, hey, we're going to be around this year. You're not going to run away with this thing. Number 2. I always go back to it. Win the special teams battle. This is so important. It's so important. You want to be methodical. You want to be hungry. You want to be at a high level when you're out there on the power play. It's very simple. There's 5 of you, 4 of them. Besides executing, if you work harder than the other 4 guys, you're going to be on top of stuff, and then you execute. Then you go. That's what I was saying about if Druin, Tatar, those guys get out there, compete, get some stuff going, Number 3, patience is a virtue. We just said it. It's a smart road game. You got to play smart. You got to control the puck, the biscuit, whatever you want to call it. You want to execute. Sometimes the plays are not there. This game tonight will be won or lost at both blue lines. And it's a cliche, but it's so true because Vegas plays that way, and they're so freaking good between the two blue lines. And beware of Braden McNabb, because I call him the best player in the National Hockey League between the two blue lines without the puck, because he can hit you. Remember Joey Ejon.
Might be a hard sell. Best player between the blue lines.
For me, he is. No, he is. I am telling you, most perfect. He is.
I'm not saying
good.
he's bad.
No. I'm not saying he's the best D in the league. I'm not saying he's winning a Norris. But you want to have that guy. You know, I always say, wine drinkers, you need a whiskey drinker. That's their whiskey drinker. This guy changes games on a dime. Very dangerous. And the Avs, as we know, they like their speed between the blue lines. And beware. Number 3.
Keep your head up.
Keep your head up.
I want to go back to your first topic there.
Yep.
Because, Vegas is the defending Cup champs, but it's a stick the other way as well, right? Vegas has had some pretty easy games to start the season.
100%. Yes.
They're the team that is going into this.
Yeah.
Look, I think whoever wins this game probably becomes the Cup favorite in a lot of people's eyes.
Yeah,
around the league.
and that's why I said reverse, because I've been saying all the time, hey, measure, Avs, people want, Chicago Blackhawks, Bedard wants to measure himself against McKinnon.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. But in reality, Vegas won the Cup last year. They are the champs, and that's why I was saying now it's up to the Avs in this first 10-game segment, 7-2. You win, you go 8-2. We talk about it all the time. That's 800 hockey. You keep that pace, you're going to break records. I mean, right? So you lose that game, which they won't, then it's still a great 10-game segment. So the Avs are in a great spot. Georgiev's been rested all week. You're going to see a big effort from them tonight.
Yeah, and Vegas hasn't lost in regulation.
That's right.
You know the Avs know that. You know that also they're going to be looking at the standings saying, hey, we lose this game tonight in regulation. They get, they have, 19 points or something? I think they have 19 points right now. The Avs have 14.
Goes to 16. The Avs are only 3 back all of a sudden,
right?
With a game in hand,
exactly. And they've beaten them on home ice, and the Avs win this game, and it should be a springboard to that second 10-game segment that we always talk about. Of, all right, you finished that first 10-game segment, great. You had those ugly 2 games. You bounce back against St. Louis. You get that win tonight. It is a measuring stick, and it's this is we're talking about Western Conference preview and all that, but also you get to win the moment. You get to tell that other team
right now we're better.
Well, and right now Vegas is better. They're unbeaten
totally
in regulation, and they've only lost 1 of 10 games. No matter how this game unfolds,
they will be ahead. Vegas
walks out with the lead in the Western Conference. But Vegas is also looking at it saying, we can't really play much better than this.
Yep.
The Avalanche, they win this game tonight, and they're like, we still won this game. And in those 10 games, we went 8-2, knowing that we have a much higher level that we can get to as a team.
True.
And that's what I wanted to talk about, the edges in this game. Megan, you mentioned it earlier in the show. Vegas does have very, very good depth when it comes to that side of it. Is that Vegas's biggest edge, or are there other things that you think Vegas might do better than Colorado?
I think their power play is pretty dangerous, and I wouldn't say the Avs have been undisciplined, but I think it's an area that has
say they've been undisciplined.
high wire act for them because they've had such a good penalty kill. But they're going up against such a good power play that even though they have one, I think second in the league penalty kill, they don't want to test it against one of the best power play teams. And so I think that's an area that Vegas could have an edge if they bait Colorado into undisciplined hockey in any way. And that's where going back to simplifying the game is really important. They can't be overreaching their sticks, and they just need to play a really clean game.
The best PK is not being on one.
True. Exactly.
All right.
It's too true, man. It's too true. You also do have with Tatar and Duran, this is a bounce back for them. They got healthy. These are 2 guys that have a lot of pride, as Eric mentioned, playing for their careers this season.
Yes.
And, it made waves when both of those guys got healthy scratched. People from around the league were like, I told you this Druin thing wasn't going to work. And whatever the reasoning given was, they're both back in that lineup tonight. Now you got to go do something with it.
First thing I saw in the Montreal paper, big title. Drouin in the press box.
Great. That's what they have to talk about?
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just like, you're right. What I'm saying is the rest of the league is, and obviously Montreal, that's where he played, but
Spend their time hyping up Newhook instead, all right? That's what they should be doing out there. Avs side of it, we say this 99% of games, they have the higher end talent. Don't think there's any doubt there. No hate on Jack Eichel. He's a great player. He's not Nathan McKinnon.
nope.
Yeah, their best guys, Pietrangelo, Eichel, Stone,
Yep.
they're just not quite as good as Rantanen, McKinnon,
Makar.
and Makar.
Yep.
But Colorado Stars have to show up.
Absolutely.
And Vegas wins a lot of games when those guys, when
Get
their
shut
guys
down. Yeah.
are fine.
Yeah.
The Avs don't win very many games when their big guys are fine. So
True.
the Avs are going to win this game. It's very likely going to have to be on the back of the big guys.
Yep.
Your stars need to show up for this game. It's one thing you guys have an off night against St. Louis or whatever. It's like, okay, great.
Yeah.
Whatever. You got 4. You scored 4 anyway, and
Big dogs play big games.
McKinnon was whatever. You'd like to really see him dominate a game. It'd be great to see one of those. It's starting to feel like it's been a while since he was really, really, really special inside of a game for a long stretch.
Look, it's game 10 of the season, and I haven't had to pour water on my head yet. All right? Let's get it together.
Yeah. A Kale McCarr hat trick would be nice to calm this Quinn Hughes shit down a little bit.
Let's relax, Vancouver.
Let's let everybody remember who the apex predator of the defensemen in the NHL is. Like, that's a nice reminder.
Tiff has a poll going in the chat about the outcome of this game. Where are we at with the numbers, Tiff?
73% for regulation, 5% for loss, team win at 16%, OT loss at 5%.
All right. Might be a little Avs fan biased.
Yeah, those people can go away. All the haters.
I know there's at least 2 Vegas fans that are regulars in our chat, so I don't think that quite makes up 5%, but yeah, so there's at least like 5 of you out here that are betting against the Avs in one way or another. Last 2 spots, defense and goaltending. We kind of talked about the Avs higher on defense, I think is better, but Vegas has a very good D-core put together, even
Without
if Zach Whitecloud is always hurt.
I was just
But-
I was gonna say, when he's there and he's with Haig on that third pair, I mean that's for me the best third pairing in the league. So when I'm talking about when everyone's
with,
healthy,
with
right?
Whitecloud.
Yeah.
But and then goaltending, the mystery of Aiden Hill continues.
Kilimanjaro.
Who's playing tonight? Is it Hill or Thompson?
it's
Well,
Hill.
I wasn't because Thompson's played really well his last few starts. I mean, both of them have played
Both
good,
have
but
played well
both of
out
them
the
play
gate.
well. Yeah.
Tonight, who do you give the edge to in goal? The Avs or Vegas?
Georgie.
I think Georgiev's more proven in the regular season, which is maybe a controversial thing to say because of the postseason that Hill had, but it's just
Georgiev is a top
more
5
work.
goalie in the league, and
To
I can't
evaluate.
say that about the other 2.
I think Aiden Hill is due.
For a bad one?
All right, I like it.
I would love for the Avs to be the one to deliver that.
They've gotten
Crack
very
that
few
egg.
poor goaltending performances, and we just had several in a row of Georgiev where you're like,
Could do better, yeah.
There were some circumstances here, but you go from giving up 4 goals in 4 games to 4, 4, 4, 4, and it's like,
Let's figure it out a little bit, yeah.
A lot of people wanted to blame it on the schedule, and he was tired, and he needs to sit, and he's getting overworked, and now
He just got to sit.
He's
Yeah.
had all week off.
Yep.
So this is why you pay your goalie. Like, this is the game that you pay him to go win, right?
Yep.
As far as regular season wins go, you want to win this one.
Yep, not too many much bigger than this one. All right, let's get to my bets for the game. Going with that Georgiev over on saves. I think 25 is fairly low. Expectations are pretty good for Georgiev to get to that number. It is minus
I like
money.
that one.
Feels disrespectful to Vegas' offense.
Right? It's like they're not bad. They're 9-0-1. They're
That's a number where if they were playing the Sharks, I'd be like,
it's give or take 50-50 on that
I
one,
can
but
see it. But with Vegas, you're like,
they should get there.
they should do that.
I'm taking Ryjo over on power play points until it gets below plus 200.
Nice.
That's just the money's too good to not go with that.
Yeah, one good win on it will pay for a whole bunch of losses.
Right, exactly. And then I took a Taves point for plus 110 as well. We've talked a lot about how when the Avs are playing well, their defense are racking up points. So against especially a team like Vegas, we talk about their depth. The Avs' secret sauce is activating their D and getting them involved offensively. So that's why I'm going with that. We have a couple of super chats here, too. I think we're getting Banks' bets in here as well. Yep. Banks says, I am $100 puck line plus the obvious Mac, Miko, and Kale bets. Confident tonight. Let's remind the jerks of the West who the real kings of conference are. Love it. Thank you very much. And then he sent another one, Banks, who says, AJ, bring back watermelon plus other fruit shirts. I'm sure they'll be back soon.
Yeah, the watermelon's in the closet, man. It's just, I own more clothes than I realized.
There you go.
So, we'll see.
Working through them.
Yeah, we'll get to it one of these
The
days.
watermelons are seasonal.
That's true. It is. It's pretty cold right
out.
now. Hard to grow some watermelons. Either way. Oh, man, I forgot to wear my pin. I'll wear it post-game.
I have mine on.
Yeah. All right. At least one of us is wearing it. We got one good one.
I
on
didn't
here.
get one.
We will be back for post-game, but we are wrapping up this pregame show. No watch-along because all of the Colorado sports are happening right now. So lots of busyness tonight.
Do
But
the Sharks win tonight?
No.
No, but the Avs do.
If Magnus Krona is starting for them,
That's what I said.
I've watched him.
Of course.
I've watched him win big ones. This is probably a very big one in his eyes.
Maybe the biggest of his career.
Perhaps so. I believe in Krona.
The Sharks would need the help, that's for sure. Either way, we'll be back for post-game breaking down whatever happens in this Avs game. We hope to see you there, and until after the game, we'll talk to you later.
We all silly like the mayor.